Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Perennial. It's time for our last matchup of the semifinals weekend here in the losers bracket. It's Welcome to TREV City versus Tofu Gang. Seed number 13 versus seed number 9. Both of these teams already having outperformed what you would expect them to place from their qualifiers seeding. And I believe both of them actually taking out some teams that were higher seeded than them at the start of the tournament. So both with some pretty remarkable bracket runs so far. My name is Dio. I'm back here again with Wowie to close out the semifinals weekend. Hello again, Wowie.
Hello again. I am very excited. No bias, but welcome to TREV City. Might be my favorite OSU team name of all time.
Really?
So I love it so much. So I'm excited for this one.
Well, got we do actually have kind of an interesting story to tell. The only team that Tofu Gang has lost to so far has been Pecora Lovers, who of course just won the last matchup against Thanks Guys in 6-1 fashion. But that is also the only team they have faced who has been higher seed than them for Tofu Gang. Everyone else has been lower seed, though they did win against Banana Bread 6-1, and Banana Bread was 10th seed, so very, very close matchup in terms of seeding there. As for Welcome to TREV City, they actually just beat Pissing On, who was seed number 6 in tiebreaker earlier this weekend. That was our only tiebreaker match so far this weekend from Welcome to TREV City. So very unexpected upset in the losers bracket from Welcome to TREV City. I think a lot of people probably would not have expected to make it through that matchup intact, but here they are, top 8 secured despite being seed number 13 out of qualifiers.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to call this, because I think these teams are very similar in that they kind of revolve around one, like, clear best player. For Welcome to TREV City, it's Ryuke, and for Tofu Gang, I believe it's Sigi. But, like, at least for me, I feel like Tofu Gang actually has a slightly better supporting cast around that central player. But we saw it in the previous match. The difficulty of the pool matters. Like, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, it matters to the point where even on maps where you think you'd have an advantage, a higher skill cap can just absolutely shaft it. So, I think this match could go the distance, personally.
Yeah, and we've seen what that higher skill cap has done for Welcome to TREV City, right? If you told somebody at the start of the weekend that seed 13 would beat seed 6, they would be questioning, how does that happen? But against Pissing On, I mean, the skill cap for players like Ryuke, who was consistently top scoring maps for the team in Welcome to TREV City, or for players like Shiv, who, for example, when Ryuke wasn't top scoring, often made the difference himself. Is not to be underestimated in how effective it is. I mean, Ryuke basically top 2 on every single map for this team says a lot, like you said, about how valuable that single player can be, that single carry performer, really putting in a lot of work for them, and even still, top 2 on the tiebreaker for them at the end of the match. So going the distance and making it work for the team. Did mention Sigi as one of the top performers for this roster, but I also, just scrolling through the MP link here, want to bring attention to MCY4, who, when he was in on a map, was top 2 on everything besides Hard Rock 2. So, very similar type of performance for MCY4 in this last match in particular on this pool, and it shouldn't surprise a lot of people if you've been paying attention to MCY4 and how good they have been in tournaments as of recent.
Oh yeah, don't get it twisted. Even though, like, both these teams have a lot of really good players to fall back on. No question.
All right, well, we are going to be getting into some of these first picks here. I think we're going to see a little bit more pick band dichotomy between these two teams, kind of the same way that we saw it with the previous two rosters, in that one of these teams is going to prefer some of the more gimmicky maps, and one of them is going to prefer, you know, potentially a lot more of the mechanics-based picks. In Welcome to TREV City's case, I think they're looking more so than the speed abuse to look into aim abuse during this match. They had a very good time on not only, you know, the just jump aim maps, but a lot of the alt maps in the pool up against pissing on. So definitely looking to them to kind of make use of that raw aim skill cap from players like Sari, Thieves, Shiv, Ryuke. Very, very good aim roster for this squad.
Man, that speaks to how good they can be if you're picking aim into people like MCY4 and Amelia.
Yeah.
But it's not. I mean, it's not teams of 2. It's teams of 4. So, if aim is picked, aim sounds scary to me. But I mean, you've got to do what you've got to do, right?
And just realized it was actually Hidden 3 that was banned by Welcome to TREV City, and not Hidden 2. Hidden 2 has been banned so often this weekend, I just instantly clicked it when I saw Hidden on the screen, but it is actually Hidden 3 which has been banned, so just to fix that real quick. And yeah, like you said, it is teams of 4, and you need to have that kind of team consistency to really make things work. Even, like, for example, in the last match, right, when we saw the full combo from the side of Thanks Guys on, I believe it was No Mod 1 where they had that full combo.
With Blaster, yeah.
Right. It let them come back in that particular map, but it wasn't without, you know, other scores on that lobby that were 500k plus from the rest of the team to make it happen. Because the entire other team was 500k plus from the side of Picora lovers. So you definitely need that team consistency, and there are quite a few very solid players who could find it here for either team. Shiv, Thieves, Ryuke, and the Pro 365. Shiv formally is I need top 727, but we're just going to refer to him as Shiv throughout the map because yeah. Up against MCY4, Ruto, Konkon Kinokon, and Sigi here. Two very, very solid tech rosters, actually.
I literally thought that was Jamara, because Jamara has a very similar name change as well. But okay, thank you for the clarification.
No. Jimmy is I need top 2. The original I need top is Curtis, and then there's I need top 727. All from Canada, of course, because why not? Yeah, early couple of breaks for these teams, by the way, while we've been talking about top and how much we need it. Shiv, Thieves, and the Pro all finding breaks here for Welcome to TREV City early on. Ryuke, the only full combo left up against 3 FCs from Tofu Gang, MCY4, Ruto, and Konkon Kinokon, all still holding, with Sigi on still a better combo than any supporting scores from Welcome to TREV City.
They're looking to drop some first pick numbers on this map for sure. I would like to keep some semblance of suspense, but I do not see this coming back.
Yeah, this is kind of what you expect, though, looking at the scores from both of these teams. They both played this already, and I think this is a well-placed first pick for that reason. It's a map where Tofu Gang actually lost it against Banana Bread, but this is the only map they lost in their previous matchup this weekend. They lost it by about 200k, got 2 million team score, and are looking to improve on that by a pretty significant margin this time around versus Welcome to TREV City with only about 1.7 million team score. Again, a better team score for Welcome to TREV City, but just not nearly enough to compete with what's going on for the blue team on this map.
Nearly 7-star tech. This is an insane team score. 800k from Kinokon, by the way.
Yeah.
And I know Kinokon gets nervous, so he must have been like wigging out during that play, but he top scores the whole lobby regardless.
Yeah, that is really insane score from Konkon Kinokon. But the fact that everyone on Tofu Gang was 650k or higher is really impressive, man. Yeah. MCY4 being the lowest score on that map with 666k is crazy. That is so consistent as a team on those types of tech maps. And I think it really goes to show where we're going to see Tofu Gang pick into, which is why I feel like this DT4 is a little bit surprising. You've got a lot of other options left up at this point, and I really expected them to go with more of these aim picks. People like Sari, for example, alongside any other number of aim players on this team for Welcome to Trev City, makes for a really disgustingly good aim roster, but instead going with the double time for here. High approach rate tech DT is what this map is, like 215-ish BPM, 215, 220, somewhere around there BPM. And AR 10.3 tech cut stream slider aim patterns all throughout this map. I mean, this is a disgusting map to play, for one, and you really, really need to be on top of your game if you are going to play something like this, because if you don't have the high approach rate reading for this map, you're going to struggle, even if you have the mechanics for it. If you don't have the speed for this map, you could still struggle with either the reading or the tech patterns, and even if you're a good tech player, it doesn't necessarily matter, because it's a high approach rate DT speed map at the same time. It's just a very particular set of skill sets that you need to be good at this. And maybe Welcome to Trev City sort of leaning into a player like Ryuke and how strong he can be when this type of map comes about in tournament, because those are all things that he can perform very, very well on.
I think this is also the kind of map that suits Matthew. Not just Ryuke, but like Matthew plays so much high AR and so much like kind of map soup. Like, I don't know how else to put it, but like
multi-skill set maps.
Yeah, he plays a lot of very strange things. I do think that in terms of that supporting cast, Trev City could have the edge here. And just to go back to the aim for a moment, like no matter how good you are at aim, it's just so scary to pick into Amelia, like at this star rating. Like I didn't mention him at first, but he really is kind of an aim stalwart.
Yeah, he's one of like the old gods from AIM, right? Like back in the day, back in like 2014, 15, 16, Amelia was one of the players who was pushing AIM as a skill set in solo play beyond what people thought it was capable of in terms of the types of scores that he was setting. So absolutely one of the best AIM players of all time, Amelia, for one. Even though a lot of newer players might not know that, definitely at one point was one of the best, if not the single best AIM player in the game. So understandable there. And Matthew, actually, the AR11 prodigy here for Welcome to Trev City, still doing fairly well here. Ryuke, the only member to break so far, compared to 3 combo breaks from Tofu Gang. The pro going to find a break now for Welcome to Trev City as well. And Matthew going to follow it up now. It is Sari versus MCY4, and that is it. Those are the only combos left here. Ryuke going to have some supporting combo, but there goes Sari's FC, and now MCY4 alone with the only FC left up after that first KI time.
I was going to say, if Sari's the last combo remaining on this team, I do not have faith in that, and immediately she dipped her combo. So, yeah, MCY4, a very dangerous player on maps like this as well, but he may need to hold for a while to bring this score lead back. It still is a fair bit, and these point totals aren't terribly high, so it could last a while. But some supporting combo from Invoker and Sigi is really going to help just tug it back.
This section of the map, though, gets so difficult. The stamina strain and the teleport aim section here on those slider jumps is so brutal. Everyone drops besides Sigi. Sigi, the only combo left alive after that section. You shouted him out at the start of the match as one of the star players for this team, and it's absolutely true. But unfortunately, not going to be able to bring the score back before branding a combo break of his own. Going to be dropping there for Tofu Gang and leaves ever so slightly just enough combo, I think, in the hands of Welcome to Trev City to keep this minuscule score lead on their side. The chain misses at the end of the map here might decide that if we see any big combos built up during the last quarter of the map, that is also enough to bring this over to one team's side or the other. Right now, 80K in the favor of Welcome to Trev City. Again, these chain misses kind of deciding the score lead and where it flops.
Oh, look, I feel like this KI has been going forever. This is so brutal. If TREV City wins this, it's on Matthew's act. Matthew and Ryan's act. Absolutely. Oh, and this is the map's cooling down now. I think they've got this in the bag.
Yeah, I believe so as well. This is all cool down here at the end. There's nothing major that's going to happen. And this is the point for Welcome to TREV City. Actually up to a 120,000 score lead there by the end. About 100k after adjusting for the DT multiplier. And yeah, you kind of called it act difference for these players. MCY4 and Sigi with very competitive act to both Matthew and Ryuke, and actually MCY4 with the top score in the lobby. Both of those top scores really actually beating out Matthew and Ryuke for Tofu Gang from MCY4 and Sigi, but Rudo and Invoker just having too much trouble with the map for those top scores to matter, and the supporting scores from the Pro and Saryi being just, you know, better on the map, more consistent at keeping the combo kit together, better accuracy on the map, making the difference there for Welcome to TREV City, because it wasn't actually the top scores. Ryuke and I have the memory of a goldfish. The two top scores for Welcome to TREV City, not actually beating out MCY4 and Sigi on that one.
Definitely a risky pick. You called it right there, but it works out for them just on the merit of Tofu Gang not having a firm 4. I would be hard pressed to say that, like, if those C ranks were even B ranks, that might have like made up the difference. Like, that's how close it was.
It's only a 120k score difference. That is very, very small in 4v4. So absolutely could have made that difference, but wasn't meant to be for Tofu Gang on this one. And we're off to a 1-1 start between these two teams, just trading picks back and forth so far. Both on similar maps though, right? Tech map in Nomad for Tofu Gang, tech map in DT for Welcome to TREV City, maybe pointing again to some mod preferences for either of these teams, although I think maybe the DT1 is probably the DT map that we're most likely to see from Welcome to TREV City, because there are still some good speed players on the side of Tofu Gang, and yeah, going for more of those technically intensive no-mod picks here for Tofu Gang. It's the no-mod 6 to be picked up for them second in this matchup.
Yeah, let me just say, like, Nomad 4 and DT4 sound similar, like when you describe them that way, but they are not similar at all, at least to my mind.
Let me craft my narrative, Wowie.
Sorry.
No, but you are right though. They are very, very different types of maps. I think there's way more of like a finger control and tapping emphasis in DT4, and way more of a reading emphasis, obviously, in that type of map as compared to Nomad 4, where you've got way more, you know, stream aim and slider aim and reading strain in the Nomad 4. So yeah, certainly very different types of maps, but you know, kind of similar if you stretch it a little bit.
I'll back off, man. I'll back off.
Oh, this map also kind of weird, right? Usually when you think of Nomad 6, if you're familiar with the tournament scene and you're familiar with tournaments like OWC and Corsace and other large tournaments like that, what you think of is really wonky finger control, like Devious Panda style maps that switch between lots of different beat snap divisors and have lots of different types of rhythms for the player to adjust to, and oftentimes kill accuracy because of that, right? This map is kind of similar in that regard, but a lot of the times when you see Nomad 6 in tournament nowadays, it ends up being kind of a speed pick, because 1/6 and 1/7 and 1/8 are really, really fast in terms of when you map them active. You oftentimes end up with, you know, 220 or 230 BPM equivalent bursts for 1/6 and 300 BPM or more equivalent bursts on 1/8. This map has none of that. This map is all about swaps between 1/3 and 1/4 primarily. You can hear that in the song right now. Those swing style 1/3 rhythms that you just heard in the background as I was talking about those rhythm changes are really what this map is about, and I think that opens it up a lot more for players who would usually go in for tech maps, for players who would usually go in for alt maps in Nomad, rather than needing that speed skill set on this type of map. So it's a very, very different sort of Nomad 6 from usual, where you do not have that speed component, much more akin to maps like the Yaspo Beyond Corsace map in 2020 that originally spawned this style of Nomad 6 in tournament.
Thank God. That's all I have to say.
Not a speed map. Oh, you can see one way or another, though, the aim control requirement getting a lot of players early on here. You see 1/6 burst there in this map, but for example, Badu played this and had the best accuracy on the team for Microwave Lobster earlier on in this round, so shouldn't present too much of a challenge for a lot of these players, and indeed, we've seen mostly aim misses for both of these teams, namely on the side of Welcome to TREV City, Ryuke, the only full combo left there, both Ruto and MCY4 with FCs for Tofu Gang.
Yeah, Ruto really stepping up in this particular map, showing once again the potential depth of Tofu Gang.
Well, they both missed, so I don't know. I guess the depth stops there, huh? Unfortunate misses for Tofu Gang, as now Ryuke actually the only FC left on the board right now, and misses for Sigi as well. Konkon Kinikon the only combo for Tofu Gang with Ryuke on the FC, and both Shiv and the Pro on pretty big combo here for Welcome to TREV City.
If Kinikon's combo falls, that score lead is gonna scream to the left. It's the only thing that's keeping it from doing it already. Oh, and there it goes, and there it screams away.
Yeah, but both Shiv and the Pro drop at the same time here. Ryuke is still full comboing this, finally drops there on the square alt patterns. The square 1/3 snap aim is so brutal during that part. Sigi actually holding on to the combo here, and we've got some disconnect issues from somebody, but there's just no map left. It does not matter. That is 130,000 score for Welcome to TREV City, and a break point on Tofu Gang's second pick.
Matthew, maybe not as much of a fan of the non-speedy Nomad 6. But can't complain too much, it got him the win.
Yeah. I've seen far more players complain about speed Nomad 6 than about alt Nomad 6. So yeah, I think this type of change is probably welcome for most players and for most gimmick teams especially, right? But one way or another, Tofu Gang not able to convert on that pick. Largely, I mean, Ryuke dropping 700k on that map is absolutely ridiculous. Such a good score. 740k, actually 230,000 score up on the next best score from Konkon Kinikon. So a very, very solid performance from him, winning his team to pick, actually. And that breakpoint, pretty important now. It's 2-1 up for Welcome to TREV City, and they have the next pick. If they are able to win it, they can consolidate that breakpoint, get themselves a 3-1 lead, and make it so that even when Tofu Gang has next pick, they still are up even if they lose a pick, right? The important part when you do take a breakpoint in tournament, for those of us who are new to tournaments and watching right now, is to make sure that even if you have a breakpoint, you don't lose your own pick right afterwards, because at that point you're just back to an even game state. You want to ideally win without needing the tiebreaker, and you need to win picks from the opponent to do that. So big step up there for Welcome to TREV City in being able to do so.
That is easier said than done, though.
Yeah.
There are very often times knowing what you're good at compared to your opponent is almost harder than actually capitalizing on those strengths. Which is why, I mean, back to your point, it is so important. Because if you get away with those breakpoints, then, I mean, one's all you need. One is all you need, realistically.
Yeah. Yeah, win one breakpoint and then win all your picks, and that's all you need to do. You don't need the tiebreaker at that point. Although, if it does come to the tiebreaker, Welcome to TREV City, hey, they've already played it once this weekend, so they probably wouldn't be too hard-pressed about playing it a second time here. Hopefully for them, they don't need it, but we're going to be seeing whether or not that's the case here with this Hard Rock 3 pick. It's all streaming.
A stressful weekend for them, let me just say. Two tiebreakers, and one is, ugh.
Yeah, this is, by the way, for those of you who have not seen the pool, this is 190 BPM death streams in Hard Rock with Glorious Crown mapped by Monstrata. You know those streams that are just constantly changing direction, circle streams over and over again? Yeah, that's this whole map. That's the entire map in this case with Hard Rock. This is a nasty, nasty pick. This is like a cookiesy hidden Hard Rock 800 PP sort of map with the flow aim requirement on this one is how I describe this pick. This is Clip Farm. This is the Clip Farm Hard Rock map right here.
I love Clip Farm.
Because these streams are nasty, man. These streams are so difficult. I don't even have the stamina for this map, let alone the stamina and the flow aim combined to deal with this on no mod. And those map stats at the bottom of your screen, that's 7.06 stars. That's also the no mod star rating for this map. So
I was gonna ask about that actually.
Yeah.
This could be whoever wins. This could be good intel for the kinds of performances we could expect if No Mod 2 was picked potentially.
Very true. Very true. Oh. Pretty good roster for both of these teams. I think the players who are in for Welcome to TREV City are players with primarily flow aim, but good enough stamina to deal with this as well. Players like Thieves and Sari, for example, not necessarily known as stream players or speed players, but certainly with very, very good stamina to deal with a pick like this. And solid flow aim for them as well. Mario filling in for the team alongside Ryuke, who is perma-lobbied, of course, for Welcome to TREV City.
Yeah, if Ryuke ever leaves this lobby, I will know that that pick is doomed.
We're already seeing breaks on the streams for Tofu Gang. By the way, Invoker and Konkonkinakon with some early misses on these streams because the cornering and stream aim in this map is just demon. MCY4 with a slider break as well now, and it is only Sigi left against Ryuke and Thieves, the pro, and Sari with some breaks at the intro as well. And Sari just not having a great time with this pick in general, alongside, of course, Konkonkinakon.
Glorious Crown was a very good descriptor of these stream shapes. Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Well, there goes Thieves. It is now only Ryuke once again, and actually better overall. Oh, okay, never mind. Sigi dropping the full combo there for Tofu Gang makes that not overall better combo for Tofu Gang. Konkonkinakon going to drop as well, and it is now Invoker alone. Got some extra combo from MCY4, but much better supporting combo from Sari and the Pro, and of course Ryuke still on the FC right now for Welcome to TREV City.
Yeah, the team score, the lead isn't really going up. But they don't really need it to, I suppose. And now Ryan is like the only high combo left in the entire lobby. And there it goes. But the lead is enough where, like, we're in the last third of the map now. Tofu Gang's really going to need to work if they want to work this back.
There is big combo on MCY4 right now. There it goes, and there goes everyone's combo besides Ryuke, actually. Yeah, this map's hard, by the way, if that wasn't clear. This map is quite difficult to combo well. These types of stream aim hard rock picks, I think, deceptively difficult because of just how easy it is to misaim a stream, either, moving too fast off of it like we saw from Sari there, or note locking after misaiming one of these little circle stream patterns at all.
The lead is falling.
The lead is falling, man. These are a lot of chain misses, but it's not going to be enough. The Pro 365 with combo at the end of the map may be saving that, actually, for Welcome to TREV City, as that lead falls to within 100k. And his combo at the end there, you can see his difficulty graph struggling up until the very end of the map when he was able to pull it together. Yeah, just rough times across the board on this map. 200, 300, 100k for most players. 567k for Ryuke and 430k for both Thieves and MCY4, the notable scores on this one.
Ryuke has really put in work toward Hard Rock, and particularly in the last year and a half or so. Like, he I can't think of any like right off the top of my head, but he has topped Hard Rock leaderboards on some extremely difficult like technical maps and streamy maps, and it really shows through on that pick.
Well, this now gives us maybe a little bit of insight into, like we were talking about, No Mod 2. We see Welcome to Trev City do pretty well on that map, and I don't know if they actually played it earlier in their previous matchup. I do want to see whether they played that No Mod 2 or not. They actually did, and they won it against Pissing On. They won that map against Exarch, Dimi, Vivace, and Majore. So pretty solid scores for them on that pick. If they were facing Picora lovers with that full combo from Red Pixel earlier that we saw in No Mod 2, I don't think they would have won it in that case, but it was enough to beat Pissing On earlier this weekend.
So. It's nothing to feel bad about losing to a 700 PP score.
Yeah, no
tournament.
Kidding. No kidding. So let's see some other bans come through for these teams. Hidden One is going to be banned from Welcome to Trev City, and DT1, the ban from Tofu Gang, instantly to come out afterwards. Well, this pick makes sense. They've double banned Hidden for Welcome to Trev City, so pick the only one that's left. It's Hidden 2. For one of the first times this weekend. I don't know if this is the first time we've seen it on stream, but it is one of the first times. Very, very low pick rate for this No Mod 2. Understandably so, given this is a finger control Hidden 2 mapped by Down, who recently gained some notoriety mapping, for example, songs that he makes, like Ikoro, and mapping them in kind of signature style for that player and what they are known for. You've got a couple other custom songs made by Down that he just maps himself afterwards. Really cool mapper and artist combo there. But doing a custom map for this tournament and doing it largely in finger control style, tons of doubles and quads in this pick, which become really, really tricky when you mix in that low approach rate reading on top of them.
The AR8 maps from Down are probably my favorite types of maps that he makes. They're often like very, I guess, tasteful. Like they're not purposefully deceiving. They're just like hard maps, which I always prefer in this kind of slot, as opposed to something that's like stacky, maybe a little more memory heavy, possibly. But I will say that in situations where like this, Hidden 1 is banned and Hidden 3 is banned, in my experience, picking Hidden 2 in that scenario is kind of a trap.
It can be.
We'll see what happens here. I would give Tofu Gang an advantage, but it's not like, I mean, Vesperit, Ryuke, Matthew, those three alone, that is no slouch of a low AR roster.
Yeah. What I will say is they played both Hidden 1 and Hidden 3 against Pissing On, and they lost both of those picks. So these aren't hidden bans that are just like, oh yeah, we don't like these maps and we don't really want to play them. It's no, we actually lost these, and we probably lose them here also for these bans. So
yeah,
with that context, I kind of think that this is going to be a good pick for Tofu Gang. Just because we've already seen Welcome to Trev City struggle on Hidden this weekend in particular on the same map pool. Usually I would agree with you, though. Usually I would agree. If there's no context to it, if they haven't already played a match, or you don't know how they do on the Hiddens, it's almost always a trap, the last one that they leave up, because you always leave up your best one, right?
Yeah. First map for Amelia, by the way. That team stalwart that we mentioned earlier. Uh-oh, and he was the only... His combo was the only thing that was keeping this lead on their side. And there it just went.
And unfortunately for Tofu Gang, this is kind of a map where you can see solo carries happen. Big scores from Vesprit and Matthew right now, both very solid reading players. Vesprit in particular, known as a hidden and low approach rate one trick on the OWC Canada roster, was always their hidden only when they were playing free mod picks in OWC this past year, and is putting up the top score in the lobby as of right now, just cresting that 300k mark. Good combos, however, on Amelia. Konga dropping, as I was about to mention that combo, doesn't bode as well for Tofu Gang, though, as now this lead crests 150,000 for Welcome to TREV City.
Can't lie, Dio. This is looking like a trap.
It is really looking like a trap, as no combos remain on either side. Chain misses for both squads, but 200,000 score for Welcome to TREV City by the end of the map. Man, that is a lot better of an overall team score for them. The bottom scores in particular, I think, really making the difference here. You obviously have the pop-off score from Vesprit, for example, but Amelia is still above that 400k mark. And similarly, Matthew and Konkonkinakon with almost the exact same score, 350k from both of them, but it's that bottom score consistency from Shiv and Ryuke, both still within touching distance of that 300k mark, whereas Ryuto and DeJulio really struggling to get above that 200k margin instead, kind of making the difference overall in terms of the team score, and adding on to the difference, of course, between Vesprit and Amelia. So the team consistency for Welcome to TREV City actually making the difference more so than the solo carries in that map.
Yeah, I mentioned at the start that I thought Tofu Gang had a little better of a supporting cast around Sigi, and that map just absolutely proves me wrong. Ryuke bottom scores, and the rest of his team picks up, puts them on his back. Puts him on their back, rather.
Well, definitely not the way that Tofu Gang would have wanted that pick to go. 4-1 now for Welcome to TREV City. And their next pick as well, probably going to be saving some of the best picks that they have for later on in this match. We kind of talked about this with the other matchup earlier when we did have Thanks Guys versus the Korra Lovers going on, but very common to see teams save their best picks for last as of recent. That's kind of been the pick ban strategy in the tournament meta for a little bit now. Picks like Nomad 1, picks like Hard Rock 1 that Welcome to TREV City used in their string of 5 wins in a row to stage the comeback against Pissing On yesterday. Definitely picks that I think we will probably see saved for last here for them to close it out against Tofu Gang. As of right now, going with the Nomad 2, which, we talked about it before. A, they won it against Pissing On yesterday. B, they already won Hard Rock 3, another stream map in this map pool, so looking pretty good for them here.
5 minutes. I can't get over it, man.
Map length is secondary to everything else about the pick. So good Nomad.
This map and Hard Rock 3 were less similar than I anticipated, but I do think the performance on that is still indicative of advantage. Yeah, what is the highest PP score in a tournament ever?
That is a good question. That one's got to be up there, though, right? Like, that's 700 PP in tournament. That's a crazy score.
There's no way that there's been more than 100 of those, right?
Oh, no.
Like,
no.
map pools don't really allow that most of the time.
No, not usually. Well, we'll see how this one goes for any of these members. See if anybody else can beat the 700 PP we saw from Red Pixel earlier on this map. Ryuke, Thieves, Vesprit, and the Pro in here. A lot of people may be surprised to see Vesprit in for this map, but a very, very good stamina player, very good no mod 2 player in general. I think not in on the Hard Rock pick just because it's Hard Rock. Very, very hidden dependent player, Vesprit, most of the time. So without that hidden, doesn't really prefer that higher approach rate on the Hard Rock, but very solid here on no mod 2.
Doesn't Vesprit have an SS on System Summon?
I think so. He's like a very, very good hidden DT stamina player, for example, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay. So yeah, no question on the 200 if he can do 225 that well. For a lot of these players, it might come down more to flow end than stamina.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the space stream sections in this map are ridiculous, especially around halfway through when you get in those major key eyes. The space streams in this map just go wild. So early breaks here for MCY4 not boding quite as well as you might have liked for Tofu Gang. Seigi, Invoker, and Rudo still on the full combos for them, but pretty clear accuracy difference right now between the top members. 99s for Thieves and Vesprit, 98s as well for, well, now Vesprit on 98, the Pro on 99, as Ryuke and Vesprit have better accuracy than those bottom players for Ryuto and MCY4. The accuracy there suffering a little bit for them.
This first 1K combo is kind of a place where you just don't want to miss.
Yeah,
I think if this first 1K is probably the easiest 1K you will get, so missing there does not bode super well. But MCY4 is one of the more like skill cap favored players in this matchup, so I'm not terribly worried compared to like someone else.
Well, Vesprit is now out of sync here. Not sure exactly why this has happened. I don't want to panic because we're going to miss stuff as well. But we'll see how this impacts stuff as we go forward. He's about 70 combo behind. You can see still on the full combo behind Ryuke there. So just tracking a little bit of a score deficit for Welcome to TREV City, actually, as unfortunately for Tofu Gang, as we've been looking over at Vesprit and Ryuke, all their full combos are gone. Every single one of them just dropped during that Ki time, and leaving Ryuke and Vesprit as the only two full combos left up here during this first Ki in the map, and very likely to win this pick overall now with, you know, still big combos on Thieves and the Pro going out of this Ki time, despite those misses from Vesprit and Ryuke near the end there.
The lead has been established, and on a map this long, it is really hard to get those points back. Oh my god, so many misses!
Yeah, that is a lot of misses on the 1/3 there. Ryuto and MCY4, okay, just Ryuto now with a little bit of combo for Tofu Gang, but Thieves and Ryuke are going to pick up the slack for Welcome to TREV City now, as we skip a little bit of the map due to the client lag that we had a little earlier on. And we've been talking about, you know, sometimes it's the team consistency for Welcome to TREV City that wins them these picks, like we saw on stuff like the Hidden 2 earlier, but right now it's the pop-off scores, man. 500k for Thieves on this pick, still 99 accuracy going into the ending. Ryuke as well with 450k, both better than any scores for Tofu Gang, and actually the bottom score for the Pro not as good as any of the scores on Tofu Gang, so unfortunately Mario just not a stamina player, kind of expected to bottom score this map. No shade to him for this one, as obviously the top score is more than enough for Welcome to TREV City to feel comfortable on this pick.
Yeah, I've always known Thieves as someone who has, like, maybe slight consistency issues in tournament, but I cannot deny that this kind of map is his bread and butter.
Yeah, Thee's very much a no mod 1, no mod 2 kind of player. A man after my own heart in that regard. Just the mechanics no mod main for Thee's. Very good hidden hard rock player as well. So ends up.
Look at Ryan's accuracy.
Ends up with a lot of look at Vesperit's accuracy instead. You should look there instead of at Ryan's. I think that's a better place to look. But yeah, always ends up in on these mechanics picks for these, and usually does a pretty damn good job of it. 570k on that map, 98.7% accuracy. Beat out on accuracy by Sigi though, almost 99 for him. 2100s is really impressive on this map, but not enough to win the point for Tofu Gang. Oh. That's brought us 5-1, boy. It's match point for Welcome to TREV City. They might not have next pick,
yeah,
but
they are in true dire straits right now, and I honestly don't even know what I would pick if I were them. Maybe throw the kitchen sink with something like No Mod 3, something that could just totally falter one way or the other.
This is No Mod 1 picked for Tofu Gang. That is the last map I expected, actually. All right. And the reason why that is the last map that I expected is because while, yes, you do have very good aim players on the side of Tofu Gang. For example, on Hard Rock 1, the score difference between these teams is 200k in the favor of Tofu Gang, based on the scores that we saw yesterday from these two teams. And on No Mod 1, actually the No Mod 1 pick for Tofu Gang is, based on yesterday's scores, really, really good. I would have expected the scores from Welcome to TREV City to be a lot better on this, given the players that they have. But only 1.7 million on this No Mod 1 compared to 2.2, 2.3 million for Tofu Gang on this against Banana Bread yesterday. So actually this pick is pretty solid for them, just going off of the scores that we saw yesterday. I think there's very good aim skill cap for both of these teams, and you still have to be a little scared of that if you're Tofu Gang, given how well Welcome to TREV City is performing right now. But you know what, on paper, this pick looks pretty good.
I was going to say this pick is going to test our conflicting ideas on how aim is going to play out in this matchup.
Yeah.
I think it could favor Tofu Gang. You think it absolutely doesn't. And if it is going to favor them, this is their, like, it has to. Yeah. Or that's match, game, set.
Well, given the scores yesterday, you're probably right about it, actually, with this team just having such a good time of this map against Banana Bread. We did see MCY4 pop off on this, and we actually don't even see Amelia in for this map, which is really funny because we were talking about Amelia as, you know, kind of that aim player for them to go in.
Does he not like approach circles that much? Damn,
he didn't play this yesterday either, and they still won it largely off the back of MCY4 with 860k on this map yesterday. Ruto, Kong Kinekon, and the Plus in for the rest of the roster. Gonna be Sigi subbing in for the Plus in this case. That bottom score subbing out is not uncommon between losers bracket matches in the same weekend like this.
It's not like Sigi is a bad aimer by any stretch of the imagination. So I think they should feel very comfortable with that fill.
Yeah. Sigi is like a jack-of-all-trades, master of none, right? Very, very solid player across a wide variety of skill sets, but I couldn't point to a single specialization that he has because he's just good at everything. Which, you know, has its pluses and has its downsides as a tournament player.
If there was one thing, it would be alt, but that does not matter for this map at all. And alt hasn't even really come into the equation yet, because, I mean, like, that hidden 3 pick was banned. They haven't picked No Mod 3 yet. And they might not have the lineup depth to really take advantage.
And speaking of lineup depth, we actually saw Woofle in for this pick yesterday for Welcome to TREV City, but I believe Woofle is still asleep. despite being
so
on the
as
East
well.
Coast. So, yeah, actually seeing Thieves sub in for this map for Woofle from yesterday. The rest of the roster the same here for Welcome to TREV City, looking to these players to just boost their scores from yesterday because they didn't have the best time on this map yesterday, all things considered. I need top 727, Mr. Shiv, still holding the top score for the team as he did yesterday, but Mario having a lot of trouble with his pick, unfortunately. Oh, that is actually full team wipe for Welcome to TREV City. That is no combo left alive for them. And now look at the combos on Tofu Gang. MCY4 still on the full combo with just immaculate accuracy. And then Rudo and Sigi not too far behind in terms of the combo.
Yeah, that TREV City needs an absolute meltdown to even have a chance at this pick at this point. Even a meltdown may not be enough in about a few seconds. Oh, I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't happen. Oh, unlucky there. Oh, unlucky. Well, I don't think it impacts the outcome of this map too much, honestly speaking. This one's pretty much over.
He can take solace in the fact that, like, when he sees the score line, like, the difference when this is over.
Yeah.
And Tofu Gang will actually exceed, I think both teams will exceed their previous scores. I mean, maybe TREV City will match it, but Tofu Gang running away. And at least one map will be clutched out from the jaws of defeat for them. But they're gonna need a few more like that. Yeah, MCY4 consistency player. You said he got 860?
Yeah.
Or 850 last time, and
860K.
basically does the same.
Yeah.
And I would bet it's a score like Rudo's that actually makes up the difference, or that rather exceeds their score from yesterday. Very good pick from them.
Let me check. Yeah, Rudo boosting his score from yesterday about 200,000. Konkakinakon actually underperforming compared to yesterday, but with how well Ruto performed today, it didn't really matter, and honestly probably wouldn't have mattered regardless of Ruto boosting that score, just given how big the team difference was on that pick.
Very quick Hard Rock 2 pick, by the way. And we're going to see this first dive into an alt map.
Well, we kind of saw a dive into an alt map earlier, right? We've seen the Nomad 6 at least get played, and that's kind of an alt map, sort of, kind of, a little bit. But certainly this one, a really tricky version of that type of map as well here. You've got, the CS 6.5 to contend with, of course, on this Hard Rock 2, currently CS 5. That'll switch over to CS 6.5 after Hard Rock is applied. But then a lot of really high spacing, and I believe this map makes use of a lot of wiggles within the alt patterns. It's been a long while since I've seen this map. I believe this is the first time I've actually casted this map this weekend, so going off of what I remember from Map Pool Showcase on Sunday. But yeah, very, very tricky sort of pick.
Yeah, I don't know this map either, but I know the map set. And this map set is busted. Absolutely wacko.
Yeah, this is like the most stock standard difficulty on that map set, to be clear.
Okay,
like, compared to the like HoloWings X difficulty on this map set, this is like baby stuff. But it is still a part of that map set, right? So you're definitely along the right track, just referencing the rest of the difficulties in this one. Well, they are at match point for Welcome to TREV City, and this is the pick they went with. They have this pick and one more to try to close it out with, so certainly a good pick for them if they're saving it for right now. Got a lot of good Hard Rock players on this roster for Welcome to TREV City. We've already seen a lot of them come out here, but back in for Sari and Matthew alongside Shiv and Enrique staying in from Nomad 1. On the side of Tofu Gang, you have Invoker, MCY4, LaPlus, and Sigi in for this map. So, again, a pretty solid Hard Rock roster, a lot of all-rounders, and a couple players in MCY4 and Sigi who have been popping off for this team throughout the tournament.
This is another one of the. I mean, I have to imagine that this is one of those map soup experiences. So for that reason, I'm kind of looking to Matthew to maybe be that strong supporting cast for TREV City. But I'm also really looking at Sigi and MCY4 as well. If they want to win this, I think it has to come down to one of those two. Oh, but Matthew the first to break for TREV City.
There's going to be a lot of breaks traded on this map. You already see the spacing, but the back and forth wiggles and the stop and go patterns in this map are very, very tricky to deal with. Your reading has to be really on point, given that a lot of them are on perfect overlaps as well. So, very, very tough to deal with. In fact, we've already seen everyone on Welcome to TREV City break. That is not an FC for Shiv. Down about 50 combo from that FC. We finally do see one of the FCs drop for Tofu Gang alongside Invoker. It's MCY4 to find that combo break, but LaPlus and Sigi still holding these FCs is really solid for them. Now just Sigi as LaPlus finds that break. Sigi dropping as well, and now only Shiv is the combo for either of these teams. He has the chance to bring this back, but he's going to need to hold this high combo despite some of the pattern switch-ups in the second half of this map. Is he actually going to be able to hold this long enough to bring it back? He's still going, Woey. He's still got this combo. The score lead's on Welcome to TREV City's side now. All due to Shiv's combo right now.
There's still a lot of map to go, but that lead is not slowing down. Even with those misses from Matthew and Saryi. I mean, even Ryu K kind of has his back now. Misses... As I mention it, the damage has been done, Dio.
That was a pop-off and a half from Mr. I Need Top 727 to close it out there. 800k on the 2 miss is just a ridiculous score for Shiv on that map, and something that I'm sure he's going to be happy with at the end of this one, outperforming Ryuke by a whole 200,000. Alongside anyone on the side of Tofu Gang. That 580k max score for MCY4, just not enough to compete with those two top scores from Welcome to TREV City, and that is one hell of a way to close it out for the side of Welcome to TREV City.
The supporting cast was the difference, but it was not the one that I anticipated. That was a very good performance, like, overall. Like, so many individual members of this team had their moments.
Yeah, that was a very, very solid run from them. And unfortunately for Tofu Gang, that's going to mean that they drop out of the tournament tied for 7th, 8th place with Thanks Guys. And Welcome to TREV City advances into the top 6, advances into the losers bracket in the finals round of the tournament. Go ahead and take a look at that bracket, actually. That is all of our matches for this weekend. So everything is done here. In the top 3, in the winners finals, you've got Microwave Lobster versus El Dupa. Actually, Seed 1 versus Seed 2 out of qualifiers, making it into winners finals. That's so rare, right?
That does not happen as much as you'd think.
No, it really doesn't. That is a very rare occurrence, and yeah, Microwave Lobster versus El Dupa is definitely a matchup to get excited about. That's been coming, apparently, for a while in this tournament. El Dupa having only dropped 1 map throughout the whole tournament. I'm not sure why these 2 matches here are bugged and not showing up, despite saving the bracket. But El Dupa, no maps dropped until they faced Very Cool in semifinals, and still only dropped 1 map. So, as a very, very good bracket run for them so far. And then, of course, in the losers bracket, we've got Pecora Lovers advancing over Thanks Guys into the top 6 to face off against Very Cool. Seed 3 versus Seed 8 there for those 2 teams. But Pecora Lovers, and we talked about the skill cap for them looking very, very solid in their matchup against Thanks Guys. And then, of course, Welcome to TREV City to face Bob next weekend, the winner of those 2 matches, fighting for a chance at top 3 here in the losers bracket finals.
There were not a lot of close matches this weekend. I mean, there was the one that went to tiebreaker. I see one that went to 6-4, one that went to 6-3, and all the others were either 6-2 or more one-sided than 6-2.
Yeah.
So I think that's a sign of the top teams really rising to the top. And that should make the finals weekend extremely interesting because now those are all the teams that are left.
Yeah, I'm really excited for finals. I am super excited to see how the rest of the tournament shakes out. And that is going to do it for us for now. We'll keep you posted on the map pool showcase for finals and when that does actually happen. For now, we're going to be signing off. Thank you to everybody for watching. If you do want details on the map pool showcase, if you want to see what maps these teams are facing off on next weekend, you can join the Discord to get notified about when we go live or follow the channel. Thank you very much for joining us here. It's been a pleasure casting here in the semifinals, and we'll see you later this weekend and next weekend for the finals.
Bye, everyone.